A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, Patricia and David. And it is Sunday, the 28th of July, getting through the year. The Olympics are in full swing. The boats on passage at the moment are doing well. Most of them are past the halfway mark. That's always a good place to be. And we've had a very beautiful weekend weather-wise. I wouldn't exactly say what we were doing was all that successful, but the weather has been lovely. It is calm and it's about to turn to custard this week, but we've had a very, very good weekend through the country because we've got this anticyclone sitting on top of us. Very, very pleasant indeed. 16 degrees it's dropped to now here at Gulf Harbour. The barometer is quite steady at 1022.7, about 3 knots at the most of north, well, slightly to the north-northeast, and about 25% cloud cover. There's not much there at all, so a good night to be star watching, which I presume is what the boats at sea are doing. So, no, everyone's doing pretty well by the look of it. And they've all just kept the same positions. We've got, don't know where Picasso is because their AIS is pretty slow, but we've got Kotanui at the northern part of the group, and then we have Tuatara and Windshift, and then Soy Libra. Not sure what you're doing, Andy. We'll find out in a moment. So, yeah, everyone seems to be making very good use of the last of the lovely southeasterly trades. Okay, well, let's go to the boats. Soy Libra, Gulf Harbour. Oh, nothing heard from Soy Libra. We'll move on. He might be doing something. Tuatara, Gulf Harbour. Yeah, good evening, Pip. It looks like you've passed the halfway mark too. How's everything going, over?
Everything's going pretty well. We've had some interesting stuff through, but everybody's all well on board.
Okay, tell us where you are and what your conditions are, please.
Sure, we're 25 degrees, 59 minutes south, 177 degrees, 47 east. Current speed, just got down to 5, we've seen everything around 6. The east south winds, as you mentioned, and the swells are about, maybe around the 3 metre mark, 2 to 4 metres, but mainly sitting around 3. We've hit blue sky with patchy rain clouds coming through. And that's about it.
And what's the current wind speed and your course, over?
Current wind speed 15 knots and our course is 35.2.
Okay, we have Tuatara making progress at 2559 south, 17747 east. Doing between 5 and 6 knots on a course of 035 true, and about 15 from the east-southeast. Well, that's the GFS is on the ball today. Between 2 and 4 metre swells, I presume, from the southeast, so that will not make it all that pleasant on board. But anyway, blue sky, patchy rain, bit of absolutely everything. But I bet it has warmed up now that you are up fairly well. And it sounds like, with the progress anyway, all is well on board, I hope. Over?
Yes, all is well and good on board.
Oh, that's good. Okay, all right, we will clear with you guys. And we will go to, well, I'll tell you where wind shift is. They are also pleased to be past the halfway mark. They had 20 knots of wind today, which was a bit higher than the GFS said. 17 knots they reckon. I'm giving you their 4 o'clock position from their Garmin. They are at around 26 south and 17640 east, and they're doing about 5.4 on a course of 357. And a very good evening to Mike and Renee and the boys on board Kotanui. Their position at the moment is 2421 south and 17622 east. Course over ground is 020 true, and their speed is 8 knots. So they have got a true wind speed of 20, and the direction is 140. It's been pretty stable, hasn't it? Southeast there. Seas again 2.5 meters. All going well. A bit sloppy. Well, by Jove, when a catamaran says it's a bit sloppy, it must be a bit sloppy. The current is pushing against the wind. That's always rather annoying, and the swell is in fact touching 3 meters at time, like Pip mentioned before. Okay, thank you for that. Hope everyone is I don't suppose the boys are doing any schoolwork, but there's plenty to learn on a passage, isn't there? Okay, thank you, and we'll just try for Soy Libra again.
Yes, Soy Libre. Andy?
Yeah, boy, that's a good signal tonight, Andy. Go ahead, over.
Yes. I am at 2 feet, degrees, 6 minutes now. 177 degrees, 27 east, on a course of 247 true.
247.
At going 5 to 7 knots, keep variable, and the wind has been 1-2 knots to 1-8 knots from the east. The swell is about a half meter from the southeast, and it is a little bit choppy. 50% cloud cover, and the barometer is 1018. Over.
Now, did I get the course right? 247, over?
347.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense. 347. Okay, Soy Libra 2806 south, 17727 east, 347 true, which is not the course to Minerva. 5 to 7 knots boat speed. 12 to 18 from the east, and not so much swell down that part of the world. Half a metre southeast swell, but sloppy. 50% cloud cover and 1018. Are you still planning to head to Minerva, or are you going straight up to Fiji? Over.
I will be turning in probably 24 hours towards Minerva. The wind is going to shift. Over.
Okay, got that. So all is under control there. Got a plan. And sounds like, well, you certainly made some good progress. Well, mind you, we've been gone a day, haven't we? Oh, you have made good progress, actually. So sounds like all is well on board. I am going to pass the microphone to see what David has got for looking further ahead.
Well, hey, everybody sounds like they're doing pretty good out there. And sounds like what we said the weather was going to be the other day seems to have come out fairly accurately anyway. Yes, that high, which is dominating, is squeezed as we said it was going to be. And it's very interesting. Any of you that are getting satellite imagery, and I encourage you to do that, the cumulus clouds throughout much of the zone that the satellite is picking up, these are what we call closed cell cumulus. In other words, they look like donuts, just a whole bunch of donuts all over the place, all the way up from Samoa down to just about Norfolk Island. And all that is basically due to, well, just the temperature of the air versus the temperature of the water, and the fact that it is a high, and it's complicated. But anyway, it produces clouds as I described, and I find it fascinating anyway. But to again look at the big picture, like we did the other day, not much has changed on the forecast. That high is squeezed. It looks like you squeezed a balloon, the axis of it northwest to southeast, and our nasty depression that was affecting the Tonga and Niue area is now moved to, I'd say, about 26 and 165 west. So it's out of the picture, not for those people that are anywhere near it. It's still a very, very powerful storm, but it's far enough to the east where we're lucky that it's not giving more of grief than what it could have been. Now the high, that compressed high that we talked about, is not very high in central pressure, maybe about 1024, but we are getting quite a bit of wind. And the reason for that is the squash zone. That high is getting squashed. That's how it looks on a synoptic chart. So that is why you are getting the 20-knot winds and that sort of thing. If you're on the other side of the axis, say just west of Norfolk, toward, well, in between Norfolk and, we'll just say, Australia, there is a frontal band that runs there, but the wind to the east of that cold front at 25 and 30 knots. That's out of the northwest. So it shows you how compressed the isobars can get. So anyway, looking at what's going on up in Tonga, it's not much has changed. They have that strong wind warning that remains in force. They seem to have that as a sentence that they use quite frequently, and that in fact is what is going on. So they've got southerly winds up there throughout all of the islands up in Fiji, 20 to 25 knots. The seas are rough, and the swells are moderate southerly swells. So they've come down quite a bit because of the fact that that depression has moved off considerably. Now the day after tomorrow, southeast winds. So we're getting a bit of a wind shift. Southeast winds 20 to 25, still moderate to rough seas and still moderate southerly swells. And let's take a look at what's going on over in Fiji, if I can find out where I put it. Hang on. Huh. Well, I seem to have lost my Fiji report, not Fiji, Tonga report, is what I meant to say. But, yeah, here it is. Okay, I finally got it. So they've taken down the gale warnings, as you might suspect, and in its place we have strong wind warnings. And they are for virtually all of the areas of Tonga, Tapu, Hapai, all of the Hapai chain, Vava'u, up in New Potatoes, up to the north, strong wind warning there, and for the Minervas, strong wind warning as well. So their forecast for the winds for the Minervas are south to southeast 15 to 20, and then rising up to 25 to 30 at times, and rough seas forecast 3 meters and a heavy damaging southeast swell up to 4 meters. So yeah, they're still close enough to that depression where the effect of the seas are still evident there. So that will come down. But that's what it looks like for tomorrow. For Vava'u, to be correct, the Hapais and Tonga Tapu South winds 15 to 25, rising to 30 at times. And rough seas 3.5 meters, and that damaging southeast swell, again 4 meters. And for Tuesday, we're looking at pretty much east to southeast winds 15 to 20, rising 25 to 30 at times. Rough seas up to 3.5 meters, moderate southeast swell up to 3 meters. And for the Minervas, northeast wind. So that's the northeast wind that I told you was coming for that area. Northeast wind 15 to 20, and then rising up to 25 at times. Moderate to rough seas up to 3 meters, and again, it sounds like a broken record. Moderate southeast swell up to 3 meters. So hopefully, by the time Soy Libra gets there, it will come down even more. But that's the look for pretty much the main parts of the Southwest Pacific. We're really not hearing anybody from Vanuatu, and we're not hearing at all anyone from New Caledonia. So nobody there. Yeah, nobody there is right. Okay, so that's it for me, and I'll wind it up and I'll give it to the chief.
Yeah, while David was talking, I was just browsing through New Caledonia and Vanuatu. Renard is still down there at Tanna. Your piece is about to close because there's about 10 or 12 boats, some of them rather big boats, have left Fiji today and are heading in your direction to Tanna. They're definitely not going to Port Vila, and quite a few of them are on their way, led by a British boat called Mexican Wave. I mean, how's that for a British boat name? Anyway, but they're all quite long boats, so it might be some sort of rally, but they have all left and are heading in the direction of Tanna. So hold on to your hats there in Tanna, and hopefully you've had some good weather to get up the mountain, but if not, there'll be another big group going up in a few days' time. And I see the boats be actually quite good to hear a boat from Vavau to see what the weather is like up there. The boats in Tongatapu are still jiggling around closer to the main shore where the king lives. So if anyone can give us a report from that part of the world, that would be good. Otherwise, I'll just throw it open for anyone with anything. This is Gulf Harbour Radio listening. No, nothing heard and nothing from Picasso this evening to see where they are. They have the weirdest AIS. It's very, very slow. Okay, this is Gulf Harbour Radio. We shall be back again tomorrow, of course, Monday. Our weather is likely to be dry tomorrow, but possibly not after that. So hopefully we'll get another good day in. Cheers, everybody. Have a very good evening. It looks like good progress is made with you boats out there, and hope it continues. Stay safe. I will be back tomorrow. The frequency is yours if you need it.